don't know how they did it. All I know is they did it. I don't think anybody knows how they did it, how they lifted those stones, how they brought them up to that level. I think we're looking.
For thousands of years, the Great Pyramids have stood as the ultimate riddle carved into stone. Scientists, explorers, and historians have argued endlessly about their true purpose: tombs, monuments, power symbols, star maps. But recently, something happened that even the boldest theorists never dared to imagine.
4,000-year-old mystery. How were pyramids built? It's a question many have asked. Or did aliens help them? We've seen all sorts of theories, but it looks like scientists finally have the answer.
A breakthrough in artificial intelligence has processed every measurement, chamber, layout, angle, resonance, and shadow inside the pyramids. And what the algorithms uncovered shattered the foundations of archaeology. Because the pyramids were not built the way we thought. They were not designed the way we assumed. And their purpose? It might rewrite human history. Welcome to Epoch Secrets. Today, you are about to hear what the AI truly decoded: the hidden blueprints embedded inside the pyramids, and the reason ancient people went to impossible lengths to protect those secrets. Some discoveries shock the world. This one terrifies it. The story begins not in Egypt, but inside a massive underground server facility where researchers fed an AI system every known detail of the Great Pyramids of Giza. Millions of data points, laser scans, micro-robot footage, mathematic datasets, acoustic maps were poured into an engine designed to detect patterns beyond human capability. At first, the results seemed ordinary: structural analysis, geometric relations, mass distribution. But then the system began generating something unexpected: blueprints. Not blueprints of how the pyramids were built, but blueprints of a system hidden within them. The AI suggested that the internal architecture aligned too perfectly, too consistently, with energy flow principles found across unrelated ancient civilizations. The shafts, chambers, slopes, and precise orientations formed a network intended not for burial, but for function. According to the algorithm, the pyramid behaved like a machine. At first, the team dismissed the output as a misinterpretation, but when the AI was run again, using entirely different data sets, it generated the same diagrams: a layered grid of channels, resonant nodes, and central chambers that appeared to be part of a much larger mechanism. It mapped the king's chamber as a pressure point, the queen's chamber as a distributor, and the grand gallery as an amplifier. Every angle, every measurement, every block mass fed into this enormous functional design. And the deeper the AI dug, the more sinister the results became, because buried within the data was a repeating signal, a mathematical pattern occurring again and again in the pyramid's geometry. The program highlighted this repeating sequence and labeled it as intentional. In simpler terms, the system concluded that whoever built the pyramids left an encoded message, a blueprint hidden in the structure itself. When the researchers isolated the pattern, they found something chilling. The numbers corresponded with frequencies, not random vibrations, but specific resonant frequencies that modern engineers use in advanced energy systems. The pyramids, according to the AI, were designed to channel natural energy from the earth, and that was only the beginning. When word leaked into the academic world, skepticism exploded. Egyptologists argued it was impossible. The ancient Egyptians had no machines, no power grids, no industrial tools. But the AI wasn't looking for modern machinery. It was detecting ancient engineering, using techniques that were incredibly advanced, yet completely different from anything we understand today. Then a second phase of analysis began: mapping global structures. Researchers fed the AI data from dozens of ancient monuments around the world: the temples of Mexico, the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, Angkor, Göbekli Tepe. Once again, the system did something no human expected. It linked the geometry of the Great Pyramid to sites thousands of miles away. The same frequency codes, the same repeating angles, the same hidden mathematical signature appeared in monuments built by cultures that supposedly had no contact with each other. This was the moment the scientific community realized they were dealing with something far bigger than Egyptian architecture. The pattern was global, and if these structures were connected through design, then the civilizations that built them may have shared a purpose or knowledge that has been lost to us for thousands of years. When the AI isolated the core blueprint from all these sites, it produced a single, unified diagram, a blueprint for an ancient global energy system. According to the AI's model, the pyramids and other monuments formed a network strategically built along Earth's energy hotspots. These structures weren't random, and they weren't simply ceremonial. They were nodes in a massive ancient grid. But before researchers could celebrate the discovery, something unnerving happened. When the AI overlapped the global blueprint with modern geological data, it showed that many of these monuments were placed directly on fault lines, underground aquifers, magnetic anomalies, and unusual density zones within the Earth's crust. It was as if ancient builders had mapped the planet's internal structure long before humanity had any known tools to do so. That was the first moment the team felt fear, not excitement, fear. Because if people thousands of years ago could understand the planet at that level, the question became unavoidable. Who taught them? The next stage of decoding focused on the pyramid's interior. The AI simulated airflow, energy flow, and pressure distribution. What it found startled everyone in the room. When sound waves were introduced into the model, even simple tones, the entire structure responded like a giant resonator. The geometry amplified the vibrations and focused them into the king's chamber, not randomly, but with precision that matched modern acoustic engineering. Even more disturbing, when the AI tested ancient chants and frequencies known from old Egyptian rituals, the resonance peaked. It was as if the building had been tuned to specific human-generated frequencies, tones that priests likely used during ceremonies. In simple terms, the pyramid responded to sound. It was designed to interact with the human voice. This discovery alone was earth-shattering, but the AI kept going. It suggested something that bordered on impossible. The pyramid could generate a type of energy based on vibrational resonance. This wasn't electricity, it wasn't fire, steam, or any form of modern power. It was a kind of harmonic energy that could influence physical matter at a small scale. The AI could not identify exactly what the ancient Egyptians used it for, but it offered 3 hypotheses, each one more shocking than the last. The first hypothesis was healing. Some frequency combinations produced effects inside the model that resembled enhanced cellular activity. This meant the pyramid could have been used as a massive healing chamber, capable of stimulating the body in ways modern medicine is only beginning to understand. The second hypothesis was communication. Certain resonance patterns were capable of traveling long distances through bedrock. In other words, the pyramid could send signals through the earth. If other structures were built to receive these signals, ancient civilizations could have communicated using a form of seismic or harmonic messaging. The third hypothesis was the most terrifying manipulation of the environment. Some resonances in the model altered pressure in surrounding rock layers. That meant the pyramid might have been capable of affecting groundwater flow, influencing magnetic fields, or even affecting seismic stability. If true, it means ancient civilizations may have built structures that interacted with the Earth itself. But then came the discovery that shook the research team to the core, a discovery so shocking that several members reportedly walked out in disbelief. They were a symbolic code made of angles, ratios, and harmonic values, as if the blueprint was written in mathematics. The AI interpreted it as a set of instructions, not instructions on how to build the pyramid, but instructions on how to understand it. The message was chillingly simple. When the world forgets, the stone will remember. Researchers debated its meaning, but the AI offered a hypothesis. The builders designed the pyramids to preserve knowledge, not in words, but in geometry that could not erode, burn, or be lost. Knowledge hidden inside stone, waiting for a civilization advanced enough to decode it. And that civilization was us. But here's the part the public was never meant to hear. When the AI finished decoding the global blueprint, it indicated something deeply unsettling. The monuments around the world formed a pattern that matched the Earth's shifting magnetic cycles. And according to the model, the blueprint predicted the next major cycle. The date fell within our century. The implication was terrifying. The ancient builders may have known about catastrophic cycles, magnetic shifts, climactic collapses, or geological events, and built this global system to survive or prepare for them. The pyramids were not warnings, they were tools. According to the AI's final analysis, the pyramids were part of a system meant to stabilize, influence, or possibly mitigate environmental forces that modern science still struggles to understand. If true, it means the ancient world wasn't primitive. It was far older, far wiser, and far more technologically capable than we ever imagined. And the greatest fear is this: if the pyramids were built as part of a protection system, then what exactly were they protecting the Earth from? Because the AI didn't just decode the past, it gave a prediction. It indicated that the system built by ancient civilizations has long since gone dormant, and if their warnings were accurate, the Earth is approaching the next cycle of instability without the grid that once protected it. The final line of the AI's report was short, unnerving, and unforgettable. System incomplete, reactivation impossible. And that is why scientists, archaeologists, and world leaders are whispering in fear, not because of what the pyramids were, but because of what they were designed to prevent. If this discovery is confirmed, it won't just rewrite history, it will rewrite humanity's understanding of itself. The pyramids may not be monuments to the dead, but messages to the future, messages meant for us. And if the ancient world knew what was coming, we must ask ourselves a final, unsettling question. Did we decode the blueprint in time? This is Epoch Secrets, where the past refuses to stay buried. If you want more mind-bending investigations into mysteries the world still fears to acknowledge, subscribe, because the next episode goes even deeper. Until then, stay curious, stay aware, and never stop questioning what you've been taught.